A top story, fresh clashes broke out between Iranian and U.S. naval forces in the Strait of Hormuz, marking the latest flare-up despite a fragile ceasefire. Iran's semi-official Fars news agency reported that these sporadic clashes between Iranian armed forces and American vessels, the fighting came as President Donald Trump said he was awaiting Tehran's reply to his latest proposal to end the war. A U.S. fighter jet on Friday disabled at least 2 Iranian-flagged tankers, prompting retaliatory attacks. U.S. Central Command said an F-18 Super Hornet used precision munitions against 2 ships in the Gulf of Oman, and these Iranian-flagged tankers were identified as Sea Star 3 and Sevda. An Iranian military official told local media the country's Navy had responded to the violation of the ceasefire and to American terrorism and strikes, and the clashes have now ceased. Meanwhile, satellite images show that an oil slick is spreading off the coast of Iran's Kharg Island, a key oil export terminal. It was not immediately clear what had caused the apparent spill, which appears to cover more than 52 square kilometers. Kharg Island is at the heart of Iran's oil export industry, a linchpin of the country's battered economy, and lies north of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, following the start of the war on February 28th, Iran largely closed the strait, throwing global markets into turmoil and driving up oil prices. An Iranian official compared the influence of the Strait of Hormuz to an atomic bomb.
On the issue of the Strait of Hormuz, for years we neglected this advantage. In reality, it is a capability on the level of an atomic bomb. When you hold a position from which a single decision can affect the entire global economy, that is an extremely great capability. What we have gained through this war, we will by no means give up. Now, if through international mechanisms we can in fact change the regime governing the strait, then fine. Otherwise, we will do it through our own domestic laws.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reiterated on Friday that it was unacceptable for Tehran to control the crucial oil conduit. Now, speaking to the reporters in Rome, Rubio said that Washington was expecting Iran's response to its latest proposal later soon.
Well, we should know something today. I mean, we're expecting a response from them. We'll see what the response entails. The hope is it's something that it can put us into a serious process of negotiation.
Now, Trump at the White House later added, and I'm quoting, "I'm getting a letter supposedly tonight, so we'll see how that goes." Now, Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani met with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Washington on Friday and discussed the efforts to broker a permanent peace. Iran has repeatedly attacked sites in Qatar during the war, pointing to the Emirates' role as host of a major U.S. airbase.